we're continuing from where we left off. The last step we did was drain the coolant out. I've already taken and put the drain plug back in there, so that's secure. So looking over, looks like the next step, what I want to do is I want to get this purge solenoid for the fuel evap system off. And in this case, we're going to remove this connector. We're going to separate this connector here. This is just like on the fuel inlet for the fuel injector rail, and also this one right here, which is the same type of connector. So let's go ahead and let's remove the electrical connector. So it looks like we're just going to lift this back and just slide him up out of the way. Okay, I've already got one of the connectors here removed. Like I said, it's just like the fuel inlet connector that's on the fuel injector supply for the fuel rail. You can figure it out. It's just pretty simple here. This here connector, you push it. I just took a screwdriver, push down on each side. You get this slid back. Once you do that, then just slide it off. Do the same up here. There's a bolt down here, and I've already got it loose. And what I'm going to do is it's already loosened up, so I'm just going to get in there. And this is about the way as a 12mm head on this here bolt. So I'm just going to take and remove the bracket along with the purge solenoid. Just get this thing out of the way. Okay, and there's the bolt. And I've already released this, so that'll slide out. And there's our purge solenoid. Okay. Okay, this line right here that went to the purge solenoid, this thing is all plastic, and I found out that these things could really easily get broken. So just to prevent that, I'm just going to go ahead and take this off and just remove it and just get it out of the way. Okay, we're going to remove this this coolant hose. It's following going back down here to the heater core. And I've already removed the clamp and slid it back, as you can see. Now, this thing, coolant hoses are usually pretty tight, so get your screwdriver, get in there, kind of just separate it just a little bit like that. You don't need to gouge up under the hose. Just kind of go here, go around it, and then try to twist it. Okay, and then once you get it broken or loose, then you can go ahead and just slide this thing on back. Might be a little bit of coolant runs out, but we'll see what we got. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, right here we can see we have a coolant hose. It's attached to this point right here. I'm going to remove it and give you a little frame of reference. It goes and connects back to the back of the throttle body. Then from there it goes along and it goes over to the coolant recovery tank. Okay, as you can see, I've already removed the hose clamp. I slid it back. I got the screwdriver in here. As I pointed out earlier, just stick it in, kind of twist the screwdriver, try to break the seal, do a little twisting, and then it should just come right on off. Okay. Okay, now we're going to remove this here coolant hose that's right here. I've already slid the hose clamp back. And just as a point of reference to where we're over here beside the alternator. And this hose goes under the intake manifold runners. And it goes over, and it goes over, and it comes over to this T, and it's connected to right here. This is the hose, right there. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and get this here hose off and slide it on back. Let me get you a little bit of lights. You can at least see what I'm kind of trying to do here. Now I've already broken it loose with the screwdriver, so I'm just sliding it back. Okay, as you see, we got a little bit of coolant there. Okay, let me get something underneath and we'll catch that. We're going to remove this here hose clamp and get this hose off. It's going back to the engine coolant recovery tank over here. Alright, so we're going to remove it. Slide the clamp back. And we'll just twist it right on off. And we'll tuck him out of the way. Right, now we're going to remove this here hose. This is the bottom radiator hose. So let's go ahead and get him taken off. And let's get the hose clamp slid back. And let's see how well he is stuck on there. Oh, he actually came off pretty good. Okay. Got a little bit of coolant there. Okay. Okay, one tip for all of these coolant hoses that I'm taking off, even though we drain the radiator, there's still some coolant still inside the block, which is what's draining out of here, like for example this bottom radiator hose. Before you actually take the hoses off, might be a good idea, I'd say, to put your rag or something there to kind of catch some of the coolant so it doesn't run all down on top of the transmission connectors and things of that sort. Okay, so it's looking pretty good there now. So I had a little bit of coolant, not very much, but just to put a rag in there and soak it up. Okay, right now we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna separate the top radiator hose. Now this is going to be going to the thermostat housing. As you can see, I've got the hose clamp moved back. I've already broken the seal, so it's just a matter of pulling it back. If there's any kind of coolant that comes out, I've got a rag under there, kind of catch any kind of excess. And we had a little bit there. Well, if it wasn't enough for coolant lines, we still got more. Okay, there's one right here that we're going to be disconnecting. As you can see, I've already got the hose clamp pulled back. And this hose clamp goes back to the drain on the coolant recovery tank. Okay, and we have the other line here, coolant line, that we're going to disconnect, and that one goes down and goes back to the heater core. It's over on the right hand side. And also, we also have a vacuum line, which is right here. We're going to disconnect, and this vacuum line goes back and goes to the vacuum booster back here for the brakes. Okay, as you can see, we have the two coolant hoses. They're removed, plus the vacuum hose here for the brake booster. And this here, we got an electrical connector. The wire goes down under here. I'm not sure where it goes to. Some kind of sensor, maybe another engine coolant temp sensor. I was looking on the wiring diagram. Maybe it's for the temperature gauge. But anyway, it looks like we probably may have to disconnect that too. So in this case, what we do, we just take it and push down this here tab. And while we push it down, pull back. And that'll separate that. All right. Okay, we're going to separate the connector for the O2 sensor. This is the one it connects up to. It's the before the cat. So the easy way to do this is, it's mounted on a bracket. So the easy thing is just grab this part of the connector and just slide it back. Okay, and then once you do that, take this here tab, push down, and while you're pushing it down, then separate the connector. Okay, I'm underneath the car. I'm on the passenger side. You can see the drive axle here, give you a little perspective where I'm at. And if you look, there's a black strap, a bracket, and it's attached to the back side of the intake manifold. And I know it's kind of hard to see, but there's two lines there. The two hoses there, the one that you see, the biggest one on the very bottom, is the fuel supply line that goes to the fuel injector rail. The one that's the one that has the black connector, and the one that's up on the top side there, another hose there, it's the line that goes to the purred solenoid, and this is the one that has a white connector. Now the bolt, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this bolt off. Has a 13 millimeter head. And here's the other bolt that's at the end of the bracket here. Attaches onto the side of the block. That is a 10 millimeter bolt head there. Then if you look right up there, you can see a wire connection over there to the right of the black strap, bracket rather. This is a ground connection for the PCM, so we're going to also remove that. And I'm just going to take the bolts and I'm going to screw them right back into the place where they came from, just to keep up with them. Okay, I've removed the bracket here. I'll just give you a shot of it so you can see what it looks like. This up here is where the top, this is where the strap was connected at. Down, and that was the 13 millimeter head. This one down here, you can see it's got a bend, goes to the block. Okay, I want to give you a shot up there where I took the bracket off. You can see that the strap, once you loosen, you can loosen the bolt, the strap here that you see on the fuel line and the fuel evap line there. Those will just slide right, the strap will slide right out. And then after you do that, then you can take the bolt on out, take the bracket out, and then take the bolt down here on the very bottom. I don't think you can see the bolt, but it's down there. And then if you look right over to the right, you can see where the wires are hanging. There's two eyelets, two terminals, and you can see the bronze colored bolt. That's where it came from. So, and I just took the bolts and screwed everything back in place. Okay, at this point, it looks like all the coolant lines are disconnected, the sensors are disconnected, the vacuum hoses are disconnected. Also, the service manual was talking about leaving the intake manifold on and leaving the exhaust manifold on, basically disconnecting the exhaust pipe where it ties onto the exhaust manifold. There's a lot of weight, and I got to pull it off anyway when I pull the head off. So what I'm going to do is, in the next video, I'm just going to pull this whole entire assembly off, this intake manifold. And it doesn't look too bad. Looks like we just got a few nuts here to take off. And over here, we're going to take off this heat shield. And also just separate it here. Probably take it, and maybe just go ahead and take the nuts off of the exhaust manifold, pull it back. And then this way we can work just directly on the head. And also hopefully what we'll do is we're gonna talk off about taking the timing belt off, taking all the idlers off, take the crankshaft sprocket off. We got to get this here back timing cover off. We also got to get these here camshafts pulled out, and then we'll be exposed down here to the cylinder head bolts. I think it was 10 of them. So we'll pull that out, and then we'll get this head off, and I'll keep you updated as we go along. All right, well, that's it for right now. Y'all have a good one.